obviously the support of administrators is a key component of the success of the Dream Team, but it's also clear that that peer-to-peer interaction and peer-informed tools are vital. And I believe you're making that happen, isn't that right?
We are. We have put together a handbook which includes comments from all of the focus groups that we've conducted, and it shares tips from educators about what parents can do to support their children. And Patricia was one of the participants.
We were a part of that, you know, segment where we were trying to compose a handbook, and I have to tell you, I thought it was so interesting to get the feedbacks. You know, I remember one parent sharing that it started with the child being in the womb, just reading to that child, you know, and seeing where the children are right now, just taking the time out to spend that time. It doesn't have to be time that you are carving into the day, but making the time, reading to the child in the womb, you know, whether it's bath time, washing the ear, whatever it is, just taking the time and the different feedback and how we all, you know, made time. It was very, very different, but nonetheless very effective. And that's the concept, to let you know, whatever time you make, it's not going to always be the same, and it's not going to always be structured, but it's just making that time to make the difference with your children.
I just want to, I'm sorry, one second, Courtnee, because I think parents feel like there's so much put on them and so much pressure, and they may be thinking, oh, here's another thing I have to do. But if I heard you right, it's not another thing to do, it's just being more conscious when doing the things that you do.
Absolutely.
So seeing everything as an opportunity, going grocery shopping, doing bath time, whatever, eating, you're going to do those things anyway, so use it as an opportunity for connecting.
Cindy, let me tell you, and I'll share my experience with you. Spending time for my children sometimes was driving home at 10:30 at night because I was attending school. And I joke about this all the time to say I did my life very backwards because I had my children, then I got married, and then I did the degrees. And so I tell people all the time, nonetheless, even if it meant picking up my children from the sitter at 10 o'clock at night when I left school, half asleep, I would say, so how was your day? And just engaging them in that conversation in their little sleepy voice, it was great, Mommy, how was school? But we spent that time. So it doesn't matter whether you're going to the store or you're dropping them off to the sitter, whatever it is, it's taking advantage of the time, not, you know, feeling that it's not right now. You make it right. You own that moment and you really take advantage of that time.
That's why I think the development of these resources is so important, because parents need the tools to be able to recognize when they're doing the right things and to understand what they can do differently to make things work better. So having the tools is a way a way that we can expand our reach and actually create other opportunities to grow this program in other schools. So I think it's very valuable, because parents sometimes are doing the right things and they don't know it because we don't tell them. We only explain to them when they're doing the wrong thing. So we need to really celebrate when parents are doing the best that they can do with whatever they have, and we also need to provide them with the tools that they can use to improve their interactions with their children and with the schools and the community.
That is so true.
Courtnee, you've been trying, you're trying some innovative ways to spread the word, right?
Yeah, so we are also producing a PSA. So we know that some families get information in different ways, and so the handbook will be one resource, but we're also producing a short PSA that we could use during some of the Title I workshops to kind of highlight this idea and this concept, at least grab the attention so that, to your point, they can start thinking about, is what I'm doing right now really working, or what more can I do? So we're just trying to raise the awareness at this point to get people thinking about it.
And we're not social media. Are you using social media at all?
We thought about having a Facebook page, and we're not talking about adding additional responsibility to the parent or making the parent become the teacher. We're talking about just using the family time that's available, whatever that is. So if you're at the store and you're looking at colors, you know, you have your preschooler identify the colors that you see as they walk down the aisle. Some parents may have thought of that as a strategy. Others who are younger may not have. So it's just meeting the parents where they are and just sharing basic common sense kinds of tips with them to help them be more effective.
Now, what about for the non-native English speaker, where some of the literacy may be a challenge in English? Or how are we taking that into consideration?
We're considering that as we put the handbook together. It's probably going to be written at the 5th grade level, so make sure that everybody can speak it. We've also talked to the principal at the school about the various languages that are spoken at the school, so that we can accommodate for those as well. We have a diverse group of parents who are going to be serving as mentors too, to assist with that.
And the advantage of having this be a part of the district's infrastructure for the Parent Engagement Office is that we have those resources, we have that access. We work very collaboratively with Title I. We work with the ESOL department, who can assist in translations and development of materials in various languages. We work with the ESE Office of Exceptional Student Education, to make sure our gifted students and our slow learners are able to take advantage of this program. So I think that that is how we will make this program successful, is that we have all of the players that need to be at the table
And I think as long as they're talking, even in a native language that might not be English, you're still building literacy, you're still developing those connections in the brain, and those interpersonal connections that are so important for that
And that's where the peer parenting comes in, because those parents that speak the variety of languages can speak with one another in their native language and understand and communicate effectively. So I think that this is a win-win situation, and that there's so many ways that this is going to improve our ability to support our children.
The building relationship piece, I think, is so important from a couple of different aspects. One, we want the parents to have a relationship with the school, because they have to have a level of comfort if there's an issue. So while I'm working in my household with my child, building that connectivity, that's one relationship. Working with my school, so that if I see issues or concerns, I want to know where to go at my school to voice my challenges, and that I'm heard, and that I'm not going to be afraid to address issues that are critically important for my child. But then when we look at the bigger picture, and in terms of the impact Casey Family Programs is having with respect to the foster care system, how do we build a community where families are connected? And Sheryl, if you'll just share, the work that you all are doing.
Sure. One of the major initiatives of Casey Family Programs is to reduce the number of children who are in foster care by 50% by the year 2020. So to do that, we are working to build communities of hope, trying to empower parents, educating parents, strengthening families, so that we can prevent kids from going into care and also expedite their exit from care.
Which is something that we have very much in common.
Yes.
Yes, in Broward County, that's a big goal of ours, to reduce the number of kids in foster care, but reduce it safely.
Safely, definitely.
Yeah, it's very easy not to just stop removing kids, but what we want to do is make sure that those families are a safe and nurturing place for them.
Right.
And so you've got a willing partner here.
Thank you. It's good to hear.
It takes all of us. There's no question about it. For that to be effective, that you have to have a supportive school board, a supportive Children's Services Council, parents, Casey, Urban League, and other nonprofits really working in concert to really make an impact there.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, we'll soon be involved in the Broward Aware campaign, which is all about making sure that parents understand the resources, and that as a community we're really aware of those dangers and opportunities to keep children safe. So we need to tap into you and make sure that this peer-to-peer network is highlighted during that time.
That's right.
It's a great resource.
Absolutely.
And I think this also is reflective of the district's commitment to building partnerships within the community, and making sure that we don't replicate our that we don't duplicate our efforts, but that we're able to replicate the programs that we develop and make sure that they're spread throughout the district, and that all parents, regardless of where they live and what their levels of education or involvement are, that there's a place for them to join what we're doing. And partnerships are critical for us to be able to do that, because the district can't do it alone, and we shouldn't do it alone.
Is there any thought of engaging the PTOs or PTAs?
Absolutely.
In all of
PTA,
this?
PTO, PTSA, DAC, all of those acronyms. I work very closely with them, and we're sharing this information with them. And I think they will be very instrumental in our rollout, because they will be able to assist us in training other parents and training groups to roll this program out, so that we'll have a larger impact.
a large impact. That's exactly what we seek to have as we try to improve the lives of all of Broward's children. Thank you all. This has been a great show. I want to thank Patricia Escoffrey, Courtnee Biscardi, Wanda Robinson, Sheryl Negash, and Cyntheria Hunt for introducing us to this innovative way of engaging parents in the academic development and actually the whole development of their children. I've been your host, Cindy Arenberg-Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County, where our mission is to empower Broward's children to become responsible, productive adults capable of realizing their full potential, their hopes, and their dreams. For copies of this program or any other episode of Future First, please call the Children's Services Council at 954-377-1000 or visit www.cscbroward.org. Like us on Facebook, and remember to join us next time on Future First. Focus on Broward's children.